So what I want to cover next is the layout of our facility. Those of you who've been shooting with us a while got a good idea, but I want to just go over it and make sure everybody's clear, because we want to make sure we're not interrupting the members using our facilities while we're also shooting our matches. By us keeping clear of the membership, we don't interfere with them, they don't get unhappy, makes it easier for us to keep holding matches at the club. So what you're looking at is the overhead view of the park as you drive in. So as you come into the club from up above here at 12 o'clock, when you first come in by the 300-yard range, you'll be making a left-hand turn and coming down here where it says parking. Please park down in this area. We will have a safe table here in the corner, plus one in this first bay A at all the normal matches. Okay, the only match that may not be in that bay is for the August match, but every other match there'll be a safe table here at the corner and a couple of safe tables in this bay that you'll be able to use. If we're using this in the August and September matches, you will see one or two of these bays not open. Also in here is our bay C, which is there for you if you have a problem with the firearm. You tell your RO, the RO gets a hold of me on a radio, and we send somebody down just to be with you, but you can fix and live fire your gun down in this bay C area. For the season, stage 1 is the 300-yard range. I'm showing you bay numbers here currently though. So we have 300-yard range, bays A, B, and C. Then we have bay 1, 2, and 3 on the south side, and bay 4, 5, and 6 on the north side. 4 and 6 are 50 yards, bay 5 is 100 yards, bay 1, 2, and 3, and A, B, and C, 25 plus or minus yards depending on the bay. Down here you'll see this big arrow, it says check-in. Everybody knows my trailer. We'll have the trailer again this year. You come and do your check-in at the trailer. Don't go over here where USPSA and the rest of everybody else checks in. We don't want to deal, we don't want to mess with the membership. We want to stay as far away as possible. So this area you see here in the middle that I have don't park private club ranges. Don't park by the 100-yard, the 50-yard, the 25-yard, the all-purpose bay, and the buildings. Stay away from them. Park down below, please. Come over to the check-in. Check in over here, and we'll keep everything good and everybody happy and continue to be able to hold the matches the way you want. Thank you. Just want to take a minute to cover check-in. Everybody's required to come in and check in so we know everybody is there prior to. If you're a new shooter, you're going to need to be there an hour earlier than the match briefing starts so that you can go through your new shooter briefing with the appropriate person. However, everyone must be there for check-in and then the match briefing each morning. If you do not make it on time and you're a point series shooter and you show up late, you will be allowed to join your squad. However, you will receive zeros for each stage that you were not there to receive the stage briefing at the match. So if you show up halfway through the first stage of shooters, you're going to get a 0 and not be able to shoot the first stage, and that's it. You'll still be able to shoot the match, but you will not be able to shoot that stage. You must be there for the stage briefing and the match briefing. I'm not going to penalize people, but if you consistently show up not for the match briefing, you will not be allowed to shoot the match. We understand traffic. I'm trying to be helpful for people traveling far, but if you're not on time consistently, you won't be able to shoot the match at all. And we thank you for your donation. Okay, So as everybody knows, first 4 seasons, I should say 3.5 seasons of 3-Gun at Ontelaunee, we followed 3-Gun Nation rule set. This year we've moved over to UML. Not going to go into why or a long list, but we are on a new rule set for the 2020 season, and we are on the version 1.7 UML rules. Now, though we are following UML rules, there are a couple things in the UML rules that are different than what normally UML does, but allows us to do, that we will be following, and I want to make sure everybody's on the same page here. So please take a moment, and we're just going to cover a few of those rules. Ontelaunee, just so you know, prints hard-covered rule books, and we have them there. They're on the stages with all the range officers. But the key is, we do have hard copy. You can go to the website and you can download it from our website, just as it's printed in the book with the page numbers. So, what we're looking at here is in UML. This is the very first page in the book, explaining that it's part of the United Shooting Sports Leagues, and it's the United Multi-Gun League rules. You do not need to be a UML member, just as I noted in practice score, to shoot our matches. However, if you don't mind joining them, please join them and support them, because by supporting them, that's giving them funding to improve and grow, and we can work with them more and more in the ability to refine the rules over the years. So you can go to their website, which is the United Shooting Sports Leagues, and Google them, and you can get there. Now, table of contents. I'm not going to go through every rule and everything. You can go, like I said, to the website, like we spoke before, and there is a link there to get a copy of the rules specifically as printed in this book. However, there are some areas that I do want to cover. First off, under section 1, rules, okay, 1.1, it's your responsibility to read the rules and know the rules. This includes the, it's cold range. Everybody understands what a cold range is. Designated safe areas, the safe tables, no ammunition at the tables, okay? Transporting your rifles, your shotguns, and your pistols from your vehicles, and offloading, abandoning firearms. All these things are in the rule book, okay? Your long guns must have flags in them. But if you're not going to have them, then they need to stay in your gun sheaths, in your long gun sheaths, until you get on a stage. So my suggestion is to have a safety flag in every one of your firearms. One of the other things I want to cover, ammunition. Everybody understands that we don't allow steel tips, steel core, anything that can damage the steel for the rifles, pistols. Steel shot and shotgun is not allowed. It bounces back off and comes back at everybody. Okay, so it's important to understand this. Okay, all the ROs have been told this. We use the magnetic sticks for picking up the shotgun holes. Everybody knows the Mojo sticks. We have them. If you haven't been to one of our matches, we hand out Mojo sticks for everybody to pick up the holes with. If we come around, or the RO questions your ammunition and he can take a Mojo stick and your ammunition sticks to it, you got a problem. So please don't bring that type of ammunition. Now, I want to go into, last season we were using 3-Gun Nation. This season we're using UML. UML has had some changes. The big thing that everybody's going to notice is the actual division names. Last year, 3-Gun Nation, Open was called Open X4 because you're allowed 4 firearms in Open. In UML, it's called 2x4 Open, It's the same as the X4 from 3 Gun Nation, how we will be running it here at the club. You'll be able to use your shotgun, your pistol, your rifle, and a PCC. You'll have the option to use all 4. Okay? No limitations on them, on the firearms. Okay? Last year, under 3 Gun Nation, it was called Practical. UML, USPSA, FNN, all the other rule sets use the term TAC Ops. The word tactical has been removed from UML's rule set this year, under 2020. So the division that we referred to as Practical last year, and in the early registrations for the point series and the state championship match, were noted as TAC Ops. But it is optic. That is the division that you're shooting if you're thinking Practical or TAC Ops. In our system, in our rule book, it will be optic. Okay? Limited. Limited is the same as factory. And they're identical from last year. Basically, it's 8 in a tube to start. The same as with optic, 8 in a tube to start in your shotgun. But I'm not going to go into great detail on all that information because you can read about it. You should know your divisions. Okay?